Chris, thank you very much for joining us today. Really great to see you. Perhaps you'd like to kick off by introducing yourself and Sound Leisure to the people watching.
Hi, Bill. Yeah, nice to see you again. Yeah, Sound Leisure, family business based in Crossgates, Leeds. We employ roughly 75 people, mainly known for the classic jukeboxes that you can see in the background, all being well. We also operate jukeboxes throughout the UK and background music systems throughout the UK. We have a children's division that supplies waiting rooms, mainly distraction areas. You see them in supermarkets, hospitals, just in general, just to keep toddlers occupied while you want to do something else. We have an R&D department that works mainly for us, but also offers its services to other people as well. So it's quite a varied business, lots of different sectors that we're dealing with, and all performing in different ways through the period that we're in at the moment.
Thank you. And the jukeboxes, how far afield do they go?
We export jukeboxes worldwide. We have just sent a container out to America last week. We've got a container going to Thailand next Friday. We've got one going to Japan the week after. Europe's big for us, but obviously with what's going on with Brexit, things like that, we are looking further afield now. So we're really trying to get the Chinese, Thailand, Singapore, trying to get into that market and really promote more and more over there.
Fantastic. So, Chris, this year has been really challenging for many people, many organisations. Rather than look at those challenges, I'd like to hear from your perspective, what have been your greatest successes over the last 12 months, say?
I think the greatest successes have been the team around us. We've seen some superstars. We've seen a few people struggle, being honest, and probably like in a lot of businesses, some of the people who thought would fly through this have struggled. Some of the guys that have probably hidden a bit, or you don't see the potential sometimes, have come to the forefront. We have reacted extremely quickly. So I went down with a COVID in March, came back in April. In that time, with all sorts had gone on, obviously, like everybody else. But we sat down to look at what we were going to do. The whole world, for the first time, being an exporter wasn't a positive thing. The whole world had gone down at the same time, so we couldn't all of a sudden channel our resources or all our energies into one area because it was all in the same place. So we started looking at doing PPE and all sorts of other COVID-related items that I won't go into, but it got the team in, and it really set up a new way of thinking for the team that we're in. We didn't bring everybody back. Obviously, the pub side was done. That's as it is now. That's shut again due to the restrictions, but the wood shop especially had a huge impact on the wood shop, teamwork wise, and just being able to get a new product in and a challenge to build X amount per day, which looked on the first day impossible. I think we were aiming for between 75 units a day we were aiming for, and I think the first day we did 25, and virtually everybody to the man said, look, we just can't do this. And then we all sat down, gathered round, right, what if you do this? What if you do this? And really, it was fantastic, and such a swing to where we've been building the classic jukeboxes for 40 years. So within reason, people in the department that are manufacturing the cabinets believe they know what they're doing.
And they do.
And they do a great job. However, since we've come back from the producing other items, they've all sat down again and gone, right, if we take some of what we learned from that to get from 25 to 75 and now bring it into this. So within the last 6 to 8 weeks, these guys have doubled production without any more people, without any overtime. They have literally sat down together as a team and gone, right, this is what we're going to do. Forget what we've done in the past, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
Said to them all the way through, it was something we were pushing for last year. There's always that nervousness when you're building something and you feel comfortable to change. Even though I keep saying, look, just keep, if it all goes wrong, we'll go back to how it used to be. It's not a problem. But they've come back themselves and gone, right, this is what we're going to give this a go. And they've smashed it out of the park. It's been brilliant. So that's our best thing from this year, is learning that they can take that chance.
What a wonderful story, Chris. Thank you. Just setting them that challenge and letting them get on with it. and then absolutely tripling performance. Wow, outstanding. So if you look back, and you mentioned that as a learning, what have your other biggest learnings been over this period?
Probably not to panic, sit back a bit more. I mean, you know me, Bill, I'm usually running around like a crazy man. I don't like to sit down. I don't like to think I've got much spare time. And if I've got spare time, I'll soon fill it. And I think just sitting back and not panicking. Obviously, back in March when everything kicked off, I was in bed. I had COVID. I was in a mess. I emailed the bank and said, this could go wrong. Probably like the majority of other people, but you sat there at that time thinking you're by yourself. Well, I was confined to my room. I emailed Leeds City Council to talk rates, our auditors to say, right, what do you think? And in all honesty, when I look back now, everything seems to be going at 100 miles an hour. What I have learned is that, right, let's not panic. Let's just sit down, assess where we are. We can't change things that are beyond our control. We can change the things that we can. Yep. Don't panic about the stuff we can't. Look, who knows? In the next 6 months, it could all go wrong. Who knows? But I can't worry about that. We can take the positives. We can see what we've done. We can see where we are now. And all we can do is like rejoice in what we've done, because it's been a fantastic team effort. I've just been into one of our departments now where, once again, last month, they've had a great performance. Absolutely stormed it last month. 2 people rather than 3, which they had before. They've done more than they've ever done. And there's some real good teamwork going on. And it's just, I think, sit back, assess what the situation is, make a plan, run with a plan. At this minute in time, the plan changes quite a lot.
And it will.
That's out of our control. Out of our control. But once again, as long as you can just sit down and think, right, this is where we're going, and run with it. And I think it's been a learning curve for everybody. But if I dare say it, it's been fun as well, because there's never been a dull moment. I've really enjoyed this year. Obviously, there's aspects of it that you don't want and you don't want to go through again, but it's been a fun year. I've got a bit of a buzz out of it. It's a bit like starting a business again. The only downside is you've got the overheads of a large business.
Absolutely. And we've said that coming out of anything who's had to go into furlough or lockdown, coming out of it, it's like restarting it, but worse because you've got the overhead. So you've got to get the revenue up. And Chris, that was fantastic. So some of the lessons there about forgetting about the stuff that you can't control, focus on what you can control the controllables, and don't worry about the other stuff because it doesn't do you any good. What a fantastic lesson. Thank you.